It's Joe Exotic, everyone. It's perfect.
A spot you chose, sir. Not really sure where I'm going to put my notes, but that's okay.
You'll hover. Good evening and welcome to all, but we want to give a special welcome to the girls, gays, and theys. We are the female gays. This is me, Ashley. Sound like this. I feel like I'm giving warm amber, maybe. I don't know.
You're giving something all right. I don't know what it is, but you are posting up right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm comfortable for one, and I do have what the hot girls would call a light eye rash. It's not bad. You can't really see it. That's not
Is
why.
that why you're wearing the sunglasses?
It's not why.
Yeah, but you can't see it.
I would say it's not why, but I would say it helps. You can't really see it.
Yeah, for those of you just listening to the pod, not watching the YouTube vid, Ashley is wearing sunglasses and she is laying like paint me like one of your French girls. Mm-hmm. And I'm here. Oh, I'm Ness, by the way. Let's just address the elephant in the room. I got my hair cut. I have a mullet now. Mm-hmm. I know I've been talking about it. I feel like I've been talking about it on the pod for a long time.
Yeah.
But I finally did it, guys, and I'm super duper happy. If you want to see more mullet content, follow me on Instagram at Lil Loch Ness. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm posted up because, like, listen, we're going to start recording again. We're getting back in the groove of things. I'm going to be comfortable. Who says I have to be sitting upright with the ring light in my eyes? No. I can be laying down sideways with some sunglasses so the ring light is dimmed for my viewing pleasure. You know?
Nice.
And I'm wearing pajamas.
Brilliant, honestly.
Yeah.
Hi.
Okay, so typically we like to keep the podcast light and funny because the world is like a dark and shitty, smelly place sometimes. We like a little jokey here, a little joke there, but we still have to talk about the real world and what's happening around us. So we are going to talk a bit about reproductive care in the beginning of this episode. And when we get to the movie section, it will be hot, funky, gay, and fresh. Yeah. So just letting you know, we're going to talk about some serious stuff in the beginning and then the movie. And yeah. Also, we've been gone for a little bit. That's the elephant in the room. And that's been because I have been depressed, but I thought like one crisis at a time. We'll talk about this first and then maybe depression like the shorty.
We went gone for a long time. We came back. I got a mullet now. Everyone's like, what the fuck happened?
Ness has a mullet. I have a light hot girl eye rash.
We're giving different energies.
Yeah. But
both hot.
It's fine. It's groovy, baby. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This happens to the hottest and the gayest of people. That's just how it is.
Yeah. But anywho, we did want to touch a little bit on the Roe versus Wade overturning. We do have to talk about this. And to kind of tie it all together, I guess, we did pick a movie that talks about like how difficult it can be for a young girl to get an abortion, or anyone with a uterus, anyone who gets pregnant.
Yeah, we are watching Unpregnant. We picked this movie because not only is it gay, it does a really great example of showing how hard it can be for some people to get abortions. This movie shows a few ways in which it is difficult, but keep in mind, it's like a really white version of the story. I feel like Black and brown people would have a way different abortion story, starting off with like, she just had $1,000 for this road trip. And I feel like there are lots of Black and brown people who would not have that amount of money at 17. So thought that was just something to talk about. It is a great movie. It does a great job storytelling, but that's obviously not everyone's stories. Some people's story ends up way worse than this. Even though this was a really hard story and it was hard for her to get the care that she needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we jump into the movie, we wanted to drop some resources for terminating a pregnancy. Primarily, we're going to be talking about abortion funds and why they're so important. These funds are organizations set up to help people who need help finding a place that are willing to terminate their pregnancy. They provide assistance getting you there and with lodging, and most cover over half the cost, and some even cover all of it.
Yeah, more than ever, these funds need donations, as access to care in a lot of these places is harder for a lot of Americans now. And there are many of these funds available, and we're just going to talk about a few, but know that there are several more. There are probably more in your state and around too. We're
also going to include these in the bio as well, so easier for you guys to get to. But Indigenous women rising. Indigenous women suffer from some of the highest sexual assault rates in the country, and yet they face many obstacles in trying to get a safe abortion. Indigenous Women Rising helps Native people fund and educate on their reproductive rights. We also would like to touch on the Bridget Alliance. They will help no matter what state you're in. They cover cost, lodging, travel. They offer support and a coordinator, and will reimburse food cost and childcare cost. In giant letters on their website, it says, "We get people to abortion care, whatever it takes."
Lastly, we wanted to recommend abortionfunds.org. It actually has a list broken down by states for different funds available. So that was really like a helpful tool. I could scroll down to Tennessee, which I know in about 30 days, like there will be practically no abortion care in Tennessee. So seeing the funds that were there and the resources that were there, so that website's really helpful. Again, that's abortionfunds.org. And we know that this is a terrible time for so many people affected by this decision. But I wanted to remind everyone that people have been having abortions for thousands of years. And the government has really let a lot of people down, especially it's Black and brown people, who like this will affect their community really hard, this decision. And even though the government made really terrible choices, there will be people who will always be fighting for abortion rights. Usually it's the girls, gays, and theys who are honestly fighting for those rights, and we will always be here. There will always be an option and a choice for you. If you are pregnant now or you get pregnant in the future and you're listening to this, you are not alone. There is help for you, starting with these abortion funds. And and just, you're not alone. I know it sounds really scary, but there are people around you, no matter where you are, who do have the same views as you, even if it feels like you're the only one. And you can get the care that you need. We just have to work together and donate to these funds. And just remember that people are still going to continue to get abortions. It's just, this has made it a lot more unsafe, and it's really going to affect people who don't have the money to travel, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to feel discouraged right now, but there are resources out there to help you. So just make sure you do your research. If you are needing this type of help, someone will be there for you.
Yeah.
Just do your research. There's always going to be people trying to help those that are trying to terminate their pregnancies.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, should we review Unpregnant?
Yeah, let's do it. You got a synopsis for us?
Two old friends meet back with the pregnancy scare. A true American horror story. Creepy white people, giant baby busts. Kira make this pussy bust. We present Unpregnant.
Incredible.
Nice.
Loved it.
I originally had something else to rhyme with baby bust, but I thought it would get us, I thought it was not an appropriate thing to say, but I'll tell you off.
Tell me now.
No, I don't want it.
So anyway, the movie starts with urine trickling. And in my head, I was like, isn't this exactly how Juno starts?
I haven't seen Juno that many times. I'm not a connoisseur.
I love Juno.
Yeah. Did you have a hamburger phone?
Did I have a hamburger phone?
Yeah.
No, I had like a Mickey Mouse phone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I had a Purple Glitter Bratz phone because I am that girl.
That's not surprising.
Purple glitter like the lips.
Mm-hmm. The lips. Oh, I think
Nobody's
Cassandra
shocked.
had that. My older sister. I think my older
she's
sister
that girl.
had that. Yeah.
Okay, so my first note is she's taking a pregnancy test, and she gets scared because someone walks in and she drops the test. Now let me give you a life lesson. If you're taking a pregnancy test, even if you're getting dizzy or a little scared, I would recommend extra gripping. All right, you don't want to throw that. That's something you need to see for the results and your DNA and for minding your business purposes.
Gotta get that gorilla grip on that pregnancy test.
You do. You gotta hold on to it, but it's fine. And then someone named Bailey finds it, and then
her first thought is to pick it up, which I would never just pick up a pregnancy test.
Yeah. Well, she's
Someone
nosy.
peed on that.
She's nosy and she's very comforting. Like from the beginning, she's like,
she's
you're
really
not alone.
being really sweet.
It might seem scary. Let me help you. And then the person in the stall who we learn's name is Veronica. She does this like stupid voice to get out of it. And Bailey's like, bitch, is that Veronica? And we learn very quickly they're longtime friends who have been broken apart. They're not together right now.
Correct.
And she's like, is it Kevin? This is Bailey. Oh, God, don't let it be Kevin. And she goes, he seems so quiet, let alone, I can't believe you're raw dogging it with Kevin. I love the term raw dog. I've said it before.
Me too. Yeah, it's a good term. I really like raw dog and I really like edging. But I like using edging non-sexually.
I don't like that.
To make it sexual.
Yeah. People don't like that.
I'm really edging a sneeze right now.
No. People don't like that. Ness.
It's so funny.
It's not.
I'm here to amuse myself.
And then, boom, title card.
Yes. We see Veronica catch up with her friends. They call her Ronnie, which I think Ronnie is such a cute nickname for Veronica. Any queers out there named Veronica, consider using the nickname Ronnie. I love
Ronnie,
it.
stop.
I love... Not Ron, stop. God. Not the Jersey Shore reference. But they're like low-key talking shit about Bailey.
Yeah. I put not her Instagramming after finding out she's pregnant, #iconic. Like she literally left the stall and took a picture and Instagrammed. That is icon.
Yeah. Are kind of chaotic. I just wrote, I'm obsessed with Barbie, which is Barbie for the person who plays Bailey, and Osmosis Jones is my next note.
Yeah, because they're fighting in the janitor's closet and Bailey's kind of being lighthearted and Veronica's like, do you have the test? Where is it? Don't tell anyone. Also, we're not friends now. You just happen to be there in the moment. And Bailey's like, chill out, bitch. I threw it in the dumpster. Second of all, the janitor was watching Osmosis Jones, yada, yada, yada. And then she's like, after Veronica's being mean to her, she makes a Juno reference.
Yes, she does make a Juno reference.
She's like, see you later, Juno, right?
Yeah. And I made sure to write Osmosis Jones because I feel like Ashley talks about Osmosis Jones a lot. I feel like she's brought it up on the pod a couple times.
Because oftentimes I remember it as like a fake film. Sometimes I remember things that are just not correct. And that's one of them.
That's pretty true.
Osmosis Jones feels like something I made up. But it's real.
No, yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
We find out that Bailey threw the pregnancy test in the dumpster. But the next scene, it seems like people found it.
The recycling club.
The recycling club found it because
and they could not mind their business. Those granola ass bitches. Mind your business. Paper and plastic, bitch. Why don't you stop looking at me and my pregnancy test? That's plastic. Put it away.
Yeah, and like if you find it, there's no need to spread it, but they immediately spread it.
Yeah.
Through the school.
Actually, I think if it's biohazard waste, you can't recycle it.
True. Anyway, we're at Ronnie's house and there's a big ass picture of Pope Francis.
Yeah.
And so clearly that's not great. And she's doing some research on where to get an abortion. There's nowhere in her state where she can get an abortion being under 18 without parental consent.
Yeah.
So the person that she calls, because she calls an abortion clinic nearby, and they're like, yeah, no, sorry. The closest place is Albuquerque.
Yep.
And she's in Missouri.
She even says, where's Albuquerque, Missouri?
Yeah. And it's like, nah, babe, it's New Mexico. We find out it's a 14-hour drive.
Yeah. This is literally like only option for her.
Now, Ronnie's friends are trying to sleuth and figure out who's pregnant. And she was going to tell them. So she shows up at their house. I think they're like having some kind of, I don't know, friend get together.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure it out. And she was going to tell them, but then they're like kind of talking shit about it. And so then she's like, I can't do it. Then she texts her boyfriend, Kevin, and says, we need to talk.
Yep.
And he's like, cool, meet me for dinner at this Italian place. So they get there. She tells him. Then what does he do?
He like is kind of chill pretty quickly, and then he proposes to her. And I immediately said, how do you have that ring so fast? Hold up, wait. Come on, no one likes when you put your asshole to the camera. You're going to get us demonetized. Cover that up. We're going to get you on those butthole stickers.
So sorry, everyone.
But yeah, and then she's like, hold on, how did you have a ring so fast? And he's like, about that. When you said you needed to talk, and then everyone was having that mystery pregnancy thing, I remembered of a certain instance a few weeks ago, and I thought, I bet you're pregnant. And she's like, hold up, what do you mean? And he's like, well, a few weeks ago, when you thought I had a condom on, I didn't, or did it fall off?
No, it broke.
But okay, yeah, it broke. Okay.
And he just decided not to tell her.
Because he thought she would freak out, but it's like, that's disgusting. That
yeah, he's like,
feel...
it's really hard to get pregnant, so I just figured the chances of you actually getting pregnant were...
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, but it's not even just that condoms help. It like protects you from STIs. And hello, if your condom breaks, please tell the person that you're fucking.
It feels like it's not proper informed consent. I don't know if that's what it would be.
It's not
categorized at, but it's like you should tell them what you saw that happened with their body that they might not be knowing, but you do. And then that gives them more choices and more options faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stop lying with people's bodies, okay? If you're in there and something grabs you back, tell them. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
If you're in there and you feel teeth,
oh my god,
tell
okay.
them.
Oh wait, there's a movie called Teeth,
yeah,
right?
I watched that. I watched that in middle school because it was free on demand.
Is it gay?
No.
Oh man.
No.
I was like, we should review it for the pod. Someone should make Teeth, but like the lesbian version.
Yeah.
I would watch the shit out of that.
Okay.
Anyway. Yeah, so he's on his knee and she's like, can you sit back down in your chair, please? And like all of the attention is on. Why is he doing? Yeah, all their attention's on them and she's like, can you sit back down in your chair, please?
Yep.
And yeah, and like also if he told her, she could have easily taken like plan B.
Yeah, that's what she says too.
Exactly.
I said I would have told him to swallow that ring right away.
Yeah, so she's like, she takes the ring and she's like, I need to think about it.
Smart.
Yep.
Smart.
And then immediately goes to Bailey's house because she was like kind of running through her head, who can help me? And then she ends up at Bailey's house, which is interesting because she's been a real dick to Bailey.
Yep.
You know, and it seems like you said, they were friends at one point and then they just went different directions. But
yeah. Bailey is playing video games. She's crushing it. Her mom cancels plans to go out on a date, and I'm like, I hate that's so gross. Obviously, Bailey's sad about it. Then Veronica shows up. She's like, I really need your help. She's so desperate, and Bailey's like immediately down. Then we see her car, and it's iconic. It's like light blue and purple, glitter, giant eagle on the hood. It's nice.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm not a car person, so I can't be like, oh, it was this, but it was a hot rod for sure.
When my dad was younger, he had a low-to-the-ground truck that was burgundy with cherry glitter.
I love that.
Yeah, it kind of had like this type of finish, but like red and burgundy.
Love that. So Ronnie has the whole trip planned out. She has like all the funds planned out. She has a whole map that she printed out to take the best route. She has all their stops planned out. And their first stop is going to be going to a pawn shop to sell that ring.
Wait, I don't know if this is before or after, but I have a little bit of a light roast that I wrote down.
Go for it.
I'd like to read that now.
I would love to hear it.
Thank you. So on the road trip in the beginning, Veronica's being really like, this is what we're doing. And Bailey's like, God, you're boring. Then it starts raining and Bailey goes, see, you even make nature sad. And then Bailey starts roasting Kevin. And she goes, I bet your first dance at your wedding would be to Nickelback or Imagine Dragons. And I really liked that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I thought that was a beautiful read.
Yeah. So they go to the pawn shop and she's trying to sell the ring. And the lady's like, how old are you? And she's like 17. She's like, I cannot sell you. I cannot buy this from you.
Yeah.
And then who shows up at the pawn shop?
Fucking Kevin.
And then
vibes are off.
Bailey immediately yells, stalker.
Yeah, because we learned in the car that Kevin, he didn't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
Just for like dating. Like,
yeah, so Bailey already was like, Kevin's a stalker.
Yeah.
And then he literally shows up at the pawn shop.
Yeah.
And like, there's no way he could have known that they were there.
Yeah.
So he is stalking.
Yeah, how he knew.
Clearly.
He tracked her. We learned that in the conversation.
Yeah. And he's being very manipulative and gaslighty.
Because she tells him that she wants to have the procedure.
Yeah. And he's like, no, this is our only chance of being together. Which, like, never use... I hate when people do this. A lot of people use, like, getting pregnant to fix a marriage or something like that. It's not going to work. And you're going to give that kid a shit life.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
From us, expert parents.
Yeah, I'm an expert parent.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like, it's just not fair to the kid to like, you know what I mean? It's not fair.
Yeah, for sure.
And so he's being shitty, and then the pawn shop lady pulls out a gun and scares him out.
Yeah. And he's like, that's my ring. And she like cocks the gun and she's like, bitch, don't make me pull this goddamn gun.
Yep. And then he runs away.
And then they're like, thank you for this. Thank you for this. And she says, if this comes back to haunt me, I'm going to sew y'all up like human centipede.
Yes, because she ended up buying the ring for $1,300.
Yeah.
And she did say that.
It's a real black lady to the rescue moment.
Yeah, we love to see it. And then they get back on the road, and then Bailey's like, oh my God, gas and Gulp, and then like swerves to pull off. And I said, that's Ashley when she sees the Love's travel stop.
I love Loves.
Yes.
They have wolf t-shirts, Howling at the Moon, nice fruit selection, wonderful candies, wonderful gummies, great chips. It's an all-around great place to be. Loves.
They also got like fresh fruit.
I said fruit.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
That was up there at the top. I know I like the fruit.
Yeah.
So yeah, they go into this Gulp place. They get their signature icy. It's like blue raspberry, cherry, then a squirt of Coke. They do this long ass handshake in the car when they cross state lines. That has some Cleon at the end.
And then Ronnie finds a taser in Bailey's car, and Bailey's like, we are two teenage girls going on a road trip at night. Clearly, I'm going to bring a taser.
Yeah, that's true. And Bailey also asked Veronica's like, when is your appointment? But they kind of like talk over it. And I said, it's been a few days and they slept outside and they're sweaty in that car. I know it smells rank in there. I know it smells nasty.
They stopped to sleep in like just an open field, and they're sleeping outside.
I said at this point, they're getting greasier, but also closer.
Beautiful.
As friends. That's how it works.
Beautiful. They're like kind of fighting as they start going to sleep, and then there's a flashback, and we see like Bailey's or like Ronnie's over at Bailey's house, and Bailey's parents are fighting, and Ronnie's the one that sees it, and they're also like bringing up Bailey's name while they're fighting, which feels shitty. And so Ronnie goes running back to Bailey, and he's like, "Let's go ride bikes right now." So she like protected her from seeing that.
Yeah.
And then they wake up late. Ronnie's freaking out because she had a very set schedule on where to go, at what time, when they need to leave, and all that kind of thing. So she's freaking out. And so then Ronnie hops in the car, right?
Yeah, they're the car montage, and then as they're driving, there's a cop behind them. And you can tell that Bailey's kind of freaking out. At one point, she like jolts the car off to the side to get over, and they go to a diner. And Veronica's like, that was weird. That's suspicious. But then Bailey's like, oh, it's okay. Then they even park kind of in the back of the diner. And Veronica's like, why the fuck are we doing that? Then we're in the diner. We have this guy in the beginning, a young black man. He comes up. He's really trying to shoot some game, which I didn't appreciate. It was not the time. Bailey doesn't appreciate it either. She calls him out on it. She said, what a weird time to shoot game when your fly is undone. And yeah.
It's a great way to shoot someone down.
And then while they're eating there, cops come looking at the car.
Yes. And we find out that the car is Bailey's mom's boyfriend's car, and she didn't ask to drive it. So technically it's stolen property. And so clearly there's like a search out for it right now.
Yeah.
And when the cops are about to start talking to the girls, the boy that was hitting on them creates a distraction and starts singing like God Bless America or something.
Then they run out the back.
Yes.
But now they have no car and her backpack was in there.
Yes. Bailey's panicking and she's like, I mess everything up. I'm not going to go on this trip with you anymore. Like, I got to go home. And Ronnie's like, no, I need you. And Bailey's like, nobody needs me. And then Ronnie starts doing the aggressive ballerina, which apparently is an inside joke from their youth. Yeah. And it's actually pretty funny. I liked it. Okay. It's like a cute, like, little inside joke. She's just being a ballerina, but aggressive.
Yeah, they got it.
It's funny. I don't know. I thought it was a cute scene. Yeah. And then the boys pull up.
Yeah, the boys show up and he's like, when I asked what type of trouble y'all were getting into, I didn't mean that. You guys should come with us. We're going to the fair. And then my friend Matthews will take you down to some part in Texas. And then they're like, I don't know. And he's like, okay, well, you better decide because cops are 2 minutes away. So then they get in. Right?
Yep. And they get to the fair and they're watching like a racetrack.
Yeah.
Yeah. And their friend is one of the drivers, and Bailey says like, that guy's so good. And the dude's like, Matthews. And then we see Matthews come out of the car, and dun da da da, it's like a Ruby Rose type of looking gay ass.
I said, I bet Matthews is a lady. And then I went, a gay lady?
Yeah.
Her name is Kira Matthews. Bailey is immediately gay panic.
Gay panic, yes, for sure. And Matthews like walks up to them and is like, yeah, I can give you guys a ride. Just meet me here in 45 minutes or whatever.
Yep, the fun house.
And they're like, cool. So then for 45 minutes, they just enjoy the fair together.
Yep.
And Bailey calls to make the appointment for Ronnie, because we find out that Ronnie never made the appointment because she freaked out and just couldn't do it, which I get that.
Yeah.
And
they give Bailey the option on the phone of taking the pill because of how far along Veronica was, but for the pill you have to come back. So then Veronica goes to the surgical one because she wants to not be able to come back. And then they're walking to a ride and Veronica goes, so Bailey, about Kira, seems like you might be gay. Like she literally asked something like that. Like you like girls or...
Yeah, and then like Bailey kind of tries to push it away at first, but then she's like, yes, I like girls, okay? And then Ronnie's like, oh, well, I'm so honored to be the first person that you've come out to. And Bailey's like, bitch, what? I've come out to so many different people. I even came out to Doug from the bank. Like she's like listing off all these different people.
Yeah.
She's like, Doug from the bank. But we find out that her dad doesn't know, and they haven't really been in touch.
We also found out that the first girl that she masturbated to was Emma Watson in the Deathly Hallows.
Part 1.
Yeah, specifically.
Then we see them like on a ride, and they're just being so giggly. And I know this exact ride. It's like the one where it's like an arm, and like on the end of the arm, you're like kind of spinning, and then that's spinning. The arms are spinning. There's a lot of spinning. Anyway, I go on this ride at the fair with my big sister a lot, and we get the giggles too. It's a giggly ride.
Yeah.
And they're all just they're like yelling back and forth. Like Bailey's yelling about being gay, and Ronnie's yelling about being pregnant and getting an abortion. And then they're just yelling, we're gay and we're pregnant.
We're gay and pregnant.
Yes.
We're gay and pregnant. And they're like laughing really hard.
Yeah.
And then when they get off that ride, a random white couple with a baby in a stroller stops them. And they're like, oh, hey girls, we just happened to overhear that you need a ride to Albuquerque. We're actually on our way to Albuquerque and we would love to help you out. Just come ride with us in our safe and not kidnapping vehicle and we'll take you to Albuquerque. And the girls are like, okay, yeah. But before they do that, they go in the fun house.
Yeah, so like Kira walks up and they're like, oh, we found another ride that's going to take us the whole way, because Kira was just going to take them to a bus stop.
Yeah.
And then Kira's like, oh, all right, well, before we go, she gets like left alone with Bailey, and she's like, do you want to go to the fun house?
Yep. Then the fun house is such a fun scene. It's like neon, slow motion, fun music. It's so vibey. It's like kind of intimate for just a short amount of time. It's beautiful. Really love this scene. The coloring,
very flirty.
Nice. Yes, and then at the end, Kira was like, "Would it be okay if I kissed you?"
They're in a ball pit, by the way.
They are in a ball
set
pit.
The scene.
Yeah, I love that she asked. You know, I love asking before touching someone sexually. We love to
consent.
see it. Yeah, and Bailey's like, I mean, yes, you can, but I'm afraid I'll be bad at it. And Kira's like, let's begin.
She's like, I've never done this before.
Yeah,
which I talked about.
She does. She
say it.
It's a nice gay kiss. It's nice.
It's really sweet, actually.
I said Bailey is not going to be able to focus for a long time. And then the next scene.
And sure enough, yeah, we see them in the back of the car with the baby in the middle of this white couple. And Bailey's just smiling out the window. She's having a main character moment. She is living her best life. She is in a music video right now.
That's what, now young gays, you've got to be careful from the post-sexual daydreaming. You might get yourself caught up. Maybe if you could have focused, I'm not trying to victim blame, you would have noticed how creepy these white people were. Does that make sense? But sometimes you got gay kiss and gay touch and gay love on the mind that you're just clouded. You can't see the danger in front of you.
True.
How many times have you guys disassociated thinking about doing the deed in class? If you were paying attention, maybe you would have got better grades. You see what I'm saying?
It's all connected.
You can't be distracted sexually as a young gay. You got to keep it in if you want to advance in life. Or else you'll be distracted at the wrong times. If that's anything that we learned from this film, it's that.
But Ronnie's still kind of on it, and she notices that they're kind of taking a different road than what she had planned. And she says something. She's like, I had like this trip mapped out, and I had us taking I-4 the whole way. And they were like, oh, it'll take us a while to go that way, so we're going to go this way. Basically, they just like brushed it off. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, we see them wake up in the car. Nobody's in there. Except for them. It's
like when you were little, and does it ever happen to you? I feel like this doesn't happen to the new babies, but old babies. When you're in the car and you just woke up as a kid.
What do you mean?
Like your parents left you there to finish your nap?
Oh.
That never happened.
No, my parents carried me in if I fell asleep.
Maybe I should take that out. That happened once, yeah, and you just woke up and then you just get yourself out of the garage. No. Should we take that?
Yeah, she's Anyway, they left them in the car, and they're like in the middle of nowhere, but they're parked by this house.
Mm-hmm. And can I say something?
Of course you can.
I said, my first thought was they're fundamentalists. And then I said, from right when they woke up, I'm positive they're pro-life. And then I put, bitch, is it now a horror movie? Call M. Night Shyamalan. This is a horror movie.
Yeah, I was getting spooky wooky vibes. And I was like, I did not know this turn was coming.
Working title, The Pro-Life White Woman. Dun, dun, dun.
Terrifying, honestly.
Yeah.
And so the doors open and they just like go waltzing in, and they see like this picture of the white couple and like 8 children.
Yep. And
which
I'm not trying to stereotype, but they all had like a long side braid pony bouffant bang situation. Typically, that's reading fundamentalists.
Bouffant? I've never heard that word before in my life. What's a bouffant bang?
Perfect. Bouffant.
What's a bouffant bang?
Like, poofy it up.
Is that a real word?
Yes, poofy it up.
Bouffant.
Yeah.
Is it French?
I don't think so.
Bouffant.
We don't know her. She's not French.
Bouffant bang. Anyway. Yeah, so they're like, oh, we just wanted to stop by our place for breakfast on our way to Albuquerque. It was on the way. And I'm like, bitch, we're in the middle of fucking nowhere. There's no possible way. This was just on the way.
Yeah, no.
And then they start praying.
Yep. And then Bailey goes to the bathroom. After her time at the bathroom, she makes a little pit stop into this room that has pro-life yard signs everywhere. And it's scary, bitch. It's scary hoes. They know they need to leave. They needs to get out fast. Then it pans down at the table. Veronica's there, and the old pro-life white lady, she's like, now don't be mad, but we overheard you at the fair, and we overheard your friend make that appointment for you, and we just thought God put you in our life so we could help direct you. What are you having? You want to be a boy or a girl? Oh, that's just great. Well, Kevin will be here soon.
Kevin.
What?
The boyfriend.
Again? What do you mean Kevin won't be here soon?
So basically, the mom answered Ronnie's phone while they were sleeping in the back seat and talked to Kevin. That is crossing so many boundaries.
Yeah. This is coming into punch a bitch territory.
Yeah.
This old lady should have been punched.
I said she's being creepy and religious. And then we like pan back to Bailey like in that room of pro-life signs, and the dad finds her. And then like she screams and they both start freaking out, and they're yelling at each other in Klingon. Is that what it is?
I think so.
And then the dad goes, "Are we speaking in tongues?" And that really got me. It really got me.
It really did. Yeah.
But they grab the keys to the car and they steal their SUV.
Bailey yells, "Eat me straight, lady," as they run.
And then the dad starts chasing them with a baby bus.
He does. While they're being chased, Bailey yells, "This is why you always choose the ride from the hot lesbian."
I wrote that down too.
I would say that is correct.
Yes, should have gotten a ride from Keira Matthews. Mm-hmm. But this, just to paint the picture for you, I call it a baby bus. It's a giant RV with a giant picture of a baby on the front and like a bunch of pro-life propaganda.
Yeah, that's true.
The baby bus. But they're driving through the desert. They're driving through dead cows. And then they're about to run off a cliff, and they're like, oh, we got to make him think that we drive off this cliff. So they let the car go, but then they tuck and roll out. And then he comes like pulling up behind, and then he like calls the wife and is like, we had an accident.
Yep.
And then he's like trying to yell out to them, seeing if they're okay. And then he like goes down into the pit to check on them, and then they book it.
I said, nobody's talking about this, but Bailey has now stolen not one, but 2 vehicles.
Yep, that is true.
And that's where I stopped taking notes, and I started to pet Goblin because he needed affection. Do you remember?
Oh my God, that was the last note you took?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I told you when I stopped.
Okay. Yep, so then they book it, they're running away, they're walking through the desert, Ronnie's phone is dead, and then Bailey has no cell service. Then all of a sudden they see a train, so they're like, let's go jump on the train. And then they're like, run up to it, they're about to jump on the train, and then it goes by.
Yeah,
like trains are too fast.
Yep.
Then Ronnie starts having a mental breakdown, and she's like, why do you need parental consent for an abortion but not for having a baby? And then Bailey's like, everything's fine, there's a bus stop right there.
Yeah. But Veronica has lots of FUs. She's screaming to the world, but she deserves it. She's very frustrated, rightfully so.
Yeah.
She's been trying to do... she's making these huge plans at such a young age, all by herself practically, and they're not going her way. I would have been sobbing, hours ago.
Yeah.
I would have laid down and sobbed hours ago. I would have laid down in that desert.
She has hit her breaking point for sure. But then they go walking over to the bus stop, and Ronnie is about to call her mom from the payphone, but then hangs up. And then they find out that the next bus isn't coming for like 3 hours or something. But next door, there's a limo rental place. It says it's closed. They start banging on the door. A dude answers. Oh my God, I meant to look this up. Ashley said it's Gus, the chicken guy from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it is. Keep going.
It might be. He lets them in, and...
Can I go from here?
Yeah, go for it.
I believe his sign said Milos, Mitch.
I think Mitch's
limo. They're like talking to him. He's like, what the hell? Who you guys for? He's kind of a paranoid guy. He's wearing cargo pants. He has a knife. And then they're like, you know what? Fine. She needs an abortion. But she has to go all the way to Albuquerque to get it because she's 17. And he's like, the fucking government, man. Now they want to regulate our bodies and tell us when to brush our teeth.
We stand Bob.
And Bailey's like, you don't brush your teeth? And he's like, how much money you have? And she goes, $600. And he goes, let's do it. Let's go to Albuquerque. And they go, thank you, Mitch. And he goes, that's my alias. We like him.
Yeah, and he's like, my real name's Bob.
Yeah, and then they get in the limo that was like the first limo ever created.
It's limo, yeah.
But it'll get her done.
And he's driving them there. And they had to move the appointment to 10 o'clock. So originally it was at 8 a.m. And they're like, we're not going to make that now. Then they have like a little Since You've Been Gone montage of them singing and dancing in the car. They're singing out the sunroof. We love to see it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Veronica gets a call from her hating-ass friends. And they're like, we know who it is. It's the only person it could be because people saw her in the dumpster and she has no friends, so she's definitely raw dogging. It's Bailey. And Veronica's like, it's for sure Bailey and not me. Fuck that bitch. I hate Bailey. Boo, boo, boo.
It's like, Bailey's so lonely. I bet she's making out with everyone.
And Bailey was awake the whole time and heard it.
Yeah, heard everything. I was so mad at this point.
Ness was upset.
Yes. And then she was like, oh, also, before that happened, though, she did follow Kira on social. Super cute.
Oh, yeah.
But then she's like, Bob, pull over. So Bob pulls over the car, and Bailey's all like, I'm so stupid. She gets out. She starts walking away. She's like, you didn't even defend me.
Bailey's upset.
Oh, yeah, clearly. Bailey's
Rightfully
upset.
So. And she's like, you didn't defend me. You just said what they said. I'm just someone to you. I'm not a friend. And like, she felt dumb because she thought they were becoming friends. And Veronica's like, stay with me. You know I need to have someone at the procedure. And Bailey's like, that's just it. I'm just someone, a number for you. Use Bob, bitch. I'm out.
Yeah. And then Ronnie says something like, I don't remember, but Bailey's like, you're the exact person that would get an abortion and not tell anyone, which is like such a big thing because like, it's hard to share your abortion story, but those who like share their stories is so helpful for other people going through the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
And she's like, you're the exact person that would do this and just not tell anyone about it. And Ronnie's like, kind of like playing victim, and is like, you made it hard to be your friend. You were like getting in trouble all the time, and you would get mad at me because I didn't want to get in trouble. And Bailey's like, my parents were literally going through a really messy divorce. Obviously I was not in the best place.
Yeah.
And you weren't there for me. So, you know, And then she goes, have a super fun abortion, snap a pic for the gram. And then she walks off.
Yeah.
And then Ronnie goes back to the limo. Bob's like fixing it because it's broken. And then we see Bailey on like a bus or a train or something.
Yeah. And then they get back in the limo, Bob and Veronica, and she goes, let's stop at this gas pump and dump. And then she gets a slushie, and the little teenager working at the slushie park, he's like, a girl just tried to get me to get that drink. Is it a meme or something? She tried to get me to drink it. And Veronica's like, what? Say what? Is it blue raspberry on the bottom, cherry on top, and a splash of Coke? And he's like, yep. And then she's like, Bailey was here. She's here. And Gus is like, what would she be here for? And then she's like, ding, her deadbeat dad.
He owns a plant store in Albuquerque. And so then she's like, we got to go to her. And Bob's like, you're going to miss your appointment. And she's like, it doesn't matter. And so they pull up to the dad's plant store called Butler's Plant Emporium. And then Ronnie kind of sees Bailey hiding and watching her dad like talk to some kid. And then she goes to walk up to him. And he's like, oh, Bailey, hey, what are you doing here? Which is a terrible thing to say.
Yeah.
Like, maybe be a little excited to see your daughter that you haven't seen in forever. And she's like, oh, I was just around. I was in town. Figured I'd stop by. Maybe we should grab some dinner. And he's like, you really should have called me next time. I'm just way too busy. Can't do that. But, you always were too impulsive, is what he says. And then she's like, oh, no, like, maybe you're right. Maybe I should have called you first, but I'm here now. And he's like, what, do you need money? Like, I know I haven't been keeping up with the payments, but another sign of a dick, like, hello. And she's like, no, that's not why I'm here. I just wanted to see you. And then Ronnie comes out the woodworks and starts yelling at the dad. And she's like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? She's here now. You can't even get dinner with your daughter who you haven't seen, who you haven't been there for. And like, she just really starts hyping up Bailey. She's like, not only is she your daughter, but she's just a really cool fucking person. Like, she's super unique, and she's like, listing all these wonderful traits about Bailey. And he's like, I don't need to hear this, basically. And he's just being a dick. And he's like, I think you should go. And then Ronnie pulls the taser out of Bailey's bag and tases the shit out of him. She just tases the shit out of him. And then they start running away, and Bailey's like, you're a freak. Who does that?
Yeah. We also learned then that because Veronica made that choice, she for sure lost the first appointment, so she has to go to like the later one. And Bailey's like, I can't believe you would do that for me.
Yeah, she's like, you chose me over your parents finding out, because she thinks now that like there's gonna be no appointments, your parents are gonna find out.
Or and because they're doing the 1 p.m. one, they're not gonna make it till like a time that their parents are gonna be like, what the fuck's going on?
And she's like, that is so nice. Let's go. And so they kind of make up, and Ronnie gives a really nice apology about how shitty she's been. They pull up. There's a lot of like pro-lifers picketing, and Bob escorts them inside, which is very sweet. Yeah. And then he like calls them his friends, but then he like calls Veronica Victoria, I think, while he's hugging her.
It's cute.
It's really funny. Yeah. And then he goes and like grabs an STD pamphlet.
Yep.
And then when they walk into the abortion clinic, who's fucking there?
Fucking
Kevin. And he's like, I'm not trying to stop you. I was on the phone with that lady. What was her name? I don't remember. But the pro-life lady. And he's like, she's kind of intense, but very nice woman.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm not here to stop you. I just want to be with you. And she's like, I don't want you here. And now he just starts gaslighting the shit out of her. Yeah. He's like, did you not hear what I just said? I was just so nice to you. And she's like, no, I can't do this. I have not been happy with you for a long time. And so she breaks up with him, and then he starts calling her crazy.
Yep.
And then Ashley's like, she should tase him.
Yeah, I said she should tase Kevin right there in that clinic.
Yes.
Tase the shit out of him, because he's gaslighting her. He's being so mean.
Yeah. And he takes a photo of her, and he's like, I'm going to tell the whole school if you don't stay with me.
Yeah.
Are you joking?
Yeah, tase him.
And then she's like, go for it. I don't care. And he's like, fine, I will. And then he leaves. And then she goes to the appointment, and they like really show and talk out the entire process, which is kind of cool.
That's a nice part of this movie. They talk about the process. They also, in the movie, if like a pro-lifer says a fact that's incorrect, the character like uses their dialogue to be like, that actually that's not correct.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. And then Bailey waited for her the whole time, and she's like, while they were doing the procedure, I got an IUD too while they were at it.
Yeah.
They were like sick. And that was another cool thing that they talked about. Then they go and get food. They only have $20 left, so they've come to the realization that they need to call their moms.
Yeah.
So they both call their moms. The moms flew them home. Bailey gets dropped off. Then Ronnie walks into her room. Her mom's sitting on her bed, and the mom's like, come sit. And Ronnie's like, I just want to start off by saying I don't feel bad about the abortion. I know I made the right choice for me. I'm just scared that you're going to hate me. And the mom's like, I don't hate you. I can't say I agree with your choice, but I love you more than all that. Which, like, she's trying her best, but, like, that's a shitty thing to say. Like, there's no reason for her to have said, I don't agree with your choice. Like, if it doesn't matter in the long run, then don't fucking say it. All you're going to do is hurt your daughter. Like, and it shows, like, some type of resentment.
Yeah, and she said, like, your sister didn't choose this and I didn't choose this, so I'll never understand.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like,
bitch. There's literally no point in saying that.
Yeah.
If you're just going to accept her and love her anyway, literally just don't say that.
Yeah. And then not my next notes, but what I remember next is we see her going to school in like this jean overalls, and she goes and she sits with her friends, and they're talking about like some new drama already. They've moved on. Yeah. And she just looks at them and she was like, the pregnancy test was from me. And one of the friends was like, what? I can't believe you went through that alone. And she's like, I didn't. And she walks over to Bailey and sits down.
And that's it. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah, great ending. I'm going 5 out of 5 U-Hauls.
5 out of 5 U-Hauls. I really liked this film. And I wouldn't call this like a gay movie. The gayness was definitely the subplot, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, big fan. It's on, what was it on, HBO Max?
Yeah, it was on HBO Max.
Yeah,
and it was great. How long was it? An hour and 42 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I would recommend you guys watch it. Check out those abortion funds. Totally fine if you don't have the money to donate. Maybe just learn about the resources that they offer so that if you or a friend needs them, you know about them, you have them readily available. Maybe share them with some people, you know.
Yeah. But that's it for this week's episode.
Yeah, if you liked it, which I know that you did, please like and rate us on Spotify. Oh my God. We didn't even talk about, we have a YouTube channel right now.
Oh shit, yeah.
We have a YouTube channel. We just posted the Dating Amber episode. You can find it at, what's our YouTube channel name? Female Gaze Pod?
Yeah, Female Gaze Pod. We don't have like a custom URL yet because I think we have to have 100 subscribers. Okay. We're at like 92 right now. So.
Oh yeah, guys, go subscribe. Then we can get some cool fun stuff. We're at 92 subscribers. We're going to try to start uploading YouTube videos more. We do have The Handmaiden, and this one that we're recording right now, we're doing the video as well. So please subscribe to us on YouTube, because eventually maybe we can make money on YouTube, and then we can do the pod more, because we won't have to be blacksmith or neurosurgeons. We can just do pod. Gay content, gay content, gay content.
True. But yeah, so subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yep. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Female Gaze Pod, and follow us on the Gay Train, baby. Toot toot.
Okay.
Can you drop our phone number? Leave us a voicemail.
Leave us a voicemail, 917-408-3535. You can follow us on Twitter at Female Gaze Pod. And yeah, you can follow our personals at Little Loch Ness and at Ashley. Those are both our Instagram things.
See you later, alligazers. Stay gay. Don't cry too hard. Stay hydrated, okay? They're taking our rights away, but we still have to drink water. And go to like work and shit. Doesn't that suck?
Yeah.
I should have got it like a few days off to cry. We all should have got some days off.
Yeah.
But the world just keeps going. Ain't that a bitch?
Ain't that a bitch?
See you later, alligazers.
Bye, guys.
Bye.